drinking spiraled, my consumption of porn spiraled, all that stuff spiraled, weed spiraled, to where I was having seizures, trying to not drink. I was drinking every day, every night, smoking weed every day, and I would smoke weed to prevent the seizures from withdrawing from alcohol. I first started smoking weed when I was 17. Um, it was something I always wanted to try because it seemed like it wasn't that dangerous for you and it just seemed enjoyable. It really kind of, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I used to like go for runs and then smoke weed. So the base has the host country laws, and so you drink at 18. But I wasn't drinking heavily at that time. It was what the world would refer to as, responsible alcohol usage. But like I said, that last year that I was in, it really started to increase probably tenfold. I was going through multiple handles of like vodka or just tons of IPAs every night, every week, but still functioning, still going to work the next day. Eating a lot, so food brings pleasure too. That's another thing I was addicted to for a while. Seeking all that pleasure in all these different vices, because that's really what I was seeking, is feelings and pleasure. I got to a point where I ended up cheating on my girlfriend at the time of like 2.5 years. And that really kind of brought me to a point where I was crying out to God, because I was bawling my eyes out because I knew it was something that I obviously hurt her, but I couldn't understand why I did it. If I claimed to love this person, how could I do something that's going to hurt them so badly? That's the point. I was 24 and I cried out to God. And so I ended up at my parents' house for a couple months before coming here, and they were like, okay, so you have two options essentially. One, you can go, we can't allow you to live here for multiple reasons. One, there's like neighborhood policies against that. And two, it's just not productive and we don't want to enable you. And they were like, you can try and go back out there with no car and try and find a place to live. But I was like in a bunch of debt and had nothing going for me at the time. So that really wasn't an option either. Like I could have just tried to walk to work every day and do all that stuff, but I really didn't want to do all that. And the third option, they were like, we'll pay for you to get into a better way. And I didn't like those options at the time, but that was the best one. It was an answer to a prayer that I had been praying, but I didn't, could have said no, but thank God I said yes. Upon pulling up, it's exactly what I expected. My first day, it was like, go downstairs, get signed in and get all that stuff taken care of, paperwork done. Brother Doug and Miss Elizabeth, they put us all in a prayer circle, me and my family, and prayed us in, and we were off to the races. The structure here at A Better Way was something I knew I needed. It's something when I was doing well before in life, I had a structure similar. Waking up at 4:45 was nothing new. I was thankful to get back to it. I think a lot more people are always productive when you're getting up earlier. The brotherhood and the fellowship at A Better Way is definitely something that I think is one of the strongest benefits of this program. People care for you out there too, depending on where you are, but it's a worldly sense of care, It's a mutual benefit thing, or I can tolerate this person. It's not, I'm going to like here, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to tolerate this person even though this person, I really don't like this person, but you're doing it out of love. My trip to Florida was cool. I went with some brothers that weren't necessarily the brothers I came in with. Ended up getting real close bonds with some of those brothers. It was a cool trip, man. I think it's a good break, and I think you go through it when the Lord wants you to go through it, or go to that trip. It's a nice break from the ministry. I feel like you go through baptism when the Lord is ready for you to go through baptism. It was never something I wanted to press or push, and I think the timing was perfect. I'm going to put myself around people more. Avoid isolation to the fullest. You can't, it's hard to isolate here. Like, you can do it, but it's really not like you could do it before. But being around people necessarily when you don't want to be around people, the Lord can use that, and He'll use that other person to spark to just kind of revitalize you and stuff. So I'd say definitely more interaction, more brotherhood, keeping up with people and talking more. Also making that separate time, like to be alone with God. The Lord's restored my drive to do things. The Lord's restored my family and their spiritual health. It's a process, but my mom's faith is stronger than I've ever seen it in my life, and I can see the change that he's doing in her. He's given me back a lot of the things that I lost, and he's given me patience back. And just the ability to get up out of bed and go through your day not wanting to end it all. There's hope, a restoration of hope. Like, no matter what I'm going through, there's no question in my mind that the Lord exists every day. It's just, how much do you want to press into Him? And how much are you willing to give up to Him today? And I always know what the answer is, but it's easier said than done, for sure. But He works with you, and not in terms of He compromises or settles for what He's trying to push you towards, but He meets you where you're at, for sure. He's restored my faith. He's just restored something to live for in my life. And I hope that there's something better. You just gotta do it, man.